Welcome, my friend. Today we embark on a journey through timeless wisdom, where we'll explore the deep, profound teachings of the ages. These are the principles of living a meaningful, fulfilling life. Principles that have been passed down through generations, offering guidance through chaos, uncertainty, and struggle. Have you ever felt lost, confused, unsure about the next step in your life? Trust me, you're not alone. Musashi, the legendary samurai, was once there too, and it was through his pain, his suffering, and his battles that he discovered the profound truth behind living intentionally. So, let's step into his world and see how his wisdom can illuminate our own path to peace and inner contentment. The importance of self-discipline. First, let's talk about self-discipline. This is where it all begins. You see, without it, we are nothing but slaves to our impulses, our desires, our emotions. Every distraction, every temptation pulls us in different directions. Have you ever felt that tug, the constant noise in your mind telling you to chase after this or that? But here's the thing. Self-discipline is the key to freedom. It's not about rigid control or suppression. No. It's about focusing on what truly matters and saying no to everything else. It's about creating boundaries that allow you to live with purpose and direction. Think of it like training for a race. At first, it's tough, right? Every day feels like a struggle. But then, with each passing day, you get stronger, faster, more focused. And before you know it, you've mastered yourself. That's self-discipline, mindfulness, living in the present. Next, let's talk about mindfulness. Now, this one is truly transformative. Mindfulness is the art of living in the moment. So often we're distracted by the past or worried about the future. But let me ask you, what if the only moment that matters is the one you're living right now? When we stop and really see, when we pay attention to the present moment, we realize that the beauty of life is unfolding right in front of us. Can you feel that? The sensation of your breath, the softness of the air, the warmth of sunlight on your skin. When we embrace mindfulness, we connect with life itself. And trust me, there's so much beauty in the world just waiting for you to notice it. Letting go of attachments. Now, onto one of the toughest yet most freeing lessons. Detachment. I know. The idea of letting go can seem terrifying. Our possessions, our relationships, our achievements, they can become such a part of who we think we are. But here's the truth. None of these things last forever. They're all fleeting. What happens when we let go of our attachment to them? Freedom. We free ourselves from the endless chase for external validation. And let's face it, we all get caught up in it at some point, don't we? But real peace comes from inside, from within. By embracing detachment, we experience life more fully. We don't need anything outside of ourselves to be happy. You are enough as you are, right now. Isn't that freeing to realize? Embrace change. This brings us to our next principle. Embracing change. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. So why do we resist it? Why do we fear it? Musashi, in his time, understood that change is not something to fight against. It's something to embrace. Imagine life as a river. The water is constantly flowing, never the same, always moving forward. If we resist, we'll drown. But if we go with the flow, we become one with it. So, are you ready to let go of your fear of change, to accept that it's part of the journey? Because with change comes growth, comes opportunity, comes freedom. Simplicity over complexity. Next up, simplicity. Oh, we live in such a complicated world, don't we? We're constantly chasing after more. But Musashi teaches us that true peace comes from simplicity. It's about clearing the clutter, both inside and outside, so that we can focus on what truly matters. Can you remember a time when you let go of the excess? When you cleared your space, your mind and your heart? That's simplicity. It's about focusing on the essentials and letting go of the noise. It's not about living in scarcity. It's about finding joy in the essence of life itself. Simplicity brings clarity, and clarity brings peace. It's time to ask, what can you simplify today? Live with humility. Humility. perhaps one of the most powerful principles, and yet one of the most misunderstood. Humility isn't about putting yourself down or pretending to be less than you are. No, it's about recognizing that we are but a small part of a vast, interconnected world, and that's okay. When we live with humility, we drop the weight of our egos. We stop trying to prove ourselves to others. We realize we have so much to learn and so much to offer. When we humble ourselves, we open ourselves up to the wisdom of the universe. Isn't it freeing to let go of the pressure to be perfect? Isn't it a relief to just be human, with all our imperfections? Humility allows us to grow, to connect, and to embrace the beauty of others. Contentment with what is now. Here's a big one. Contentment. Let that word sink in. Contentment. In a world that's constantly telling us we need more. What if we found peace in what we already have? What if we stopped chasing the next thing and simply appreciated where we are right now? Musashi teaches us that true peace comes from accepting the present moment as it is, where without needing to change anything, without needing to have more. What would it feel like to be content with yourself, with your life, with the present? Contentment isn't complacency, it's freedom. It's the recognition that everything you need is already inside of you. Don't hold grudges. Next, we have letting go of grudges. Oh, this one's tough. Have you ever held on to anger, resentment? It eats at us, doesn't it? Musashi knew that holding on to grudges only poisons the heart. Here's the truth. Holding on to anger doesn't hurt the other person. It hurts you. It weighs you down, keeps you stuck in the past, and prevents you from moving forward with peace. But when you forgive, when you let go, you free yourself from that burden. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior. It's about releasing yourself from the prison of resentment. Can you forgive today? Can you set yourself free? Live with purpose. And finally, purpose. What is your purpose? Why do you wake up every day? Musashi lived with a single, clear purpose: to master the way of the sword. And that purpose gave him focus, strength, and direction. Do you have a purpose? Something that drives you, something that pulls you forward? When we live with purpose, we move through life with intention. We stop drifting and start living with clarity. It's not about perfection. No, it's about direction, about moving forward, one step at a time, with a deep sense of meaning. Closing thoughts. These principles, self-discipline, mindfulness, detachment, humility, contentment, and purpose, are not just words. They are a way of being, a way of living, a way of being present in the world. By embracing these teachings, we can step into a life of true peace, growth, and fulfillment. So, I ask you, are you ready to take the first step? Are you ready to live with intention and clarity?